I just finished Lost Gods today. Let's talk about it. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed this book a lot. And I kind of blew through it on Audible. I listened to it all day at work. And I do landscaping, so it's just all day with headphones in and running a weed eater, something along those lines. So I really made it through the 16 hours that this book was pretty quickly. I think it took me 3 days to listen to all 16 hours. I think this book was 16 hours. Anyway, I really enjoyed, first of all, the world that Brom crafted in the story. The story starts out with a young man named Chet just getting out of prison. And he has a little bit of a troubled past, but he's not he's not like a hardcore criminal. He got arrested for selling some drugs, and he finds out that his girlfriend is pregnant, and he's trying to turn his life around. And they go to live with his grandmother. From there, things take a turn into the supernatural, and we end up following Chet on his adventures into the underworld. And as Chet travels on his quest through the underworld, there's a fascinating mishmash of world mythologies. I really enjoyed seeing the influences of various world religions. There's themes from Christianity. There are heavy themes from Egyptian mythology. There are themes from things that I could not recognize. And that made me more curious as someone who enjoys mythology as to where these were drawn from. I'm tempted to go look them up right now, look up the names of some gods and things like that, and just creatures of the underworld, things like that, to see if they're original creations of Brom or if they are actually drawn from world mythology. That being said, he does twist them and change them to fit the story and make them his own. It's not like he just pulled from Greek mythology directly and put the Cyclops in there or something like that. Though there are heavy influences from Greek mythology. One of the shining points of this book is character growth. Chet and some friends he makes along the way all change throughout their travels, throughout their trials, which they should. I don't feel like you travel through the underworld without it changing you in significant ways. And at the end of the book, Chet becomes someone that I really admire as a character. I think Chet is someone who you could aspire to be like. And the side characters as well experience their own growth, and they all feel layered. He took the time to give each of them a past and give them motivations that were compelling and made sense, and they followed these emotions and motivations. They stayed true to who they were as characters throughout the entire book while still growing. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this book is the action was believable. It didn't have the problem that some books have with handling action involving the main character. Right off the bat, you may think of books where the main character is just immediately amazing with they're the greatest swordsmen ever, and it's like they've been using a sword for 6 minutes, you know. It doesn't fall into that by any means. Chet is competent and reasonably competent, and that is the extent of it. Most of Chet's success comes from a small amount of competence and a refusal to give up. And not in the cheesy way. You know, he's not Naruto laying on the ground going, I never give up. It's not the anime type of never give up. I'm sorry if y'all like anime. I do too, but it's such a trope that's just it grates me, man. Anyway, and it also doesn't fall into the problem of having an incompetent main character. There's a reason main characters are competent. It's because no one wants to read about some loser. We don't read books about losers. We read books about people who do things. That's the point. Or people who pull themselves out of bad situations, which is exactly what Chet is trying to do. If there is one problem that I had with action sequences and events in this book, it's that towards the middle and end, it got a little irritating when coincidence and just bad luck kept falling in favor of the villains. Just everything went their way. I've never enjoyed that, where books just, the heroes, they made it out of this situation, and here's an even worse one. And then there's a worse one after that, there's a worse one after that, and they never win. I find that irritating. This book does not have a large problem with that. There's only a small portion of the book where I started to be like, all right, really? The villain happened to be waiting around the corner, happens to overhear this piece of information. There was only just a tiny bit of that for me, and I was able to brush past it because the rest of the story was so good and so compelling, and there was so little of it. The ending of this book, I think, is also a shining point among shining points. The ending alongside with Chet, the main character, is my favorite part of this book. And they kind of go hand in hand because I love who Chet is at the end of this book, and I love the way this book ends. I found the ending is very bittersweet, and it's very sad, but it's also very appropriate and very satisfying, and feels as though that's how it should have ended. All in all, the story was very good. I'd give it like a 4.5 stars out of 5. I absolutely recommend it. If you all have not checked it out, I recommend that you do. I think it was free a while back on Audible, but it's probably not anymore. That's actually why I picked this story up. It was free. It kind of caught my attention. I clicked on it. A few months later, I listened to it, and I'm very glad I did. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope y'all have a good day. I'd appreciate a like, comment, subscription. Y'all know the drill. Wait. I was ending this video, and I realized Jax, he snorted over here, and he has not had his obligatory video appearance because he was oddly quiet today. Yeah, it's weird. He's normally making noise when I do these. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Can you say hi? Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.